All right, everybody. I am here in my shop to talk a little bit about my paint racks. One of my viewers, Connor, asked about how I made them. And I am no carpenter, so when I need stuff like this done, I sort of just slap it together in the easiest way possible. So let's just talk a little bit about materials. I can't remember what this is. I think it might be birch. I bought this at the Home Depot. This is 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch stock, and I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I'm certain. Every one of these pieces is cut to 2 feet. That's 24 inches. Every one of these sticks. It makes it very, very simple. And if you're really nice, you might even be able to get the good folks at your local DIY store, whether that's Home Depot or whatever, to cut it for you. I actually have some tools that I can use to do this kind of stuff and do a relatively reasonable job at it. But I didn't do anything special. There's no angle cuts. This is all just, you know, everything is straight on. So anyway, yeah. So 2 inches, 2 feet sticks. The spacing here is 4 inches in every one of these. So just essentially starting from the bottom, you know, I tack in this piece and then measure up 4 inches for each one. These are just stuck together with drywall screws. With stock this thin, you're definitely going to want to drill pilot holes before throwing those kinds of screws in there, because they will absolutely split this if you don't do that. And I don't know, there's really not much else to say here. It's a really simple build. It took me, you know, I think a couple of hours to do both of them. And as you can see, they hold a lot of paint, but really at this point, not nearly enough. I could use another one, and I would still be doing pretty well. At some point, I got to figure out a way to hold these things. My tubes don't have a good home. It'd be nice to have something that I could use to hang them, and all of the ones that I can find online that do that are really expensive. But the only other thing I would say that I would do differently, or might think about adding to this in the future, would be to actually add a back. You know, like a thin sheet of plywood on the back would make the whole thing much more sturdier. You could, at that point, put anything you want on it and not have to worry about its structural integrity. But I'm not really worried about it anyway. I mean, it's just paint, so it's fine. And that's kind of it. I mean, if you have any specific questions about it, please ask. But I am not a carpenter. I don't pretend to be. And again, when I need to do something like this, it is in the sort of quickest way possible. There are certainly ways you could do this that would be prettier and more correct in terms of, you know, like a, you know, if you were a carpenter, I'm sure anybody with real carpentry skills is looking at this going, really? This is what you did? This was your solution? But yeah, it works. It's functional. And because of this, the way the spacing works out, there's even a little lip at the top to keep things from, you know, falling off the sides. And that's about it. It's really simple. It costs very little. And you can, you know, this is just how I did it. You should make it for, you know, work for whatever paints you're using. You know, for example, if all you use is Citadel, this is too much space. You could double the number of shelves and hold more paint in the same amount of space. I wanted to make this more versatile. I wanted it to be able to hold Vallejo bottles and you know, other things that might not, that are taller than these, and not have to worry about making sure that each paint goes into a specific shelf. But if you know that, you know, the only paints you use are a certain type and those bottles are always a certain height, then absolutely customize it for your needs. This is just the direction that I went with it. It was the easiest way to do it. When all you're doing is cutting 8 sticks of 2-foot pieces of wood, you don't get much simpler than that. Anyway, that's it. That's just a quick look at my paint racks. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And if you build one, do a video. I'd love to see it. I would love to hear how somebody with real carpentry skills might approach something like this. And that's it for now, and thank you for watching.